like to show you my premium backpacking hammock system. It's a Warbonnet Blackbird by Warbonnet Hammock Company. They make a really good hammock. They have different models now. I'm not sure if the Blackbird is one. I believe it is still, but it's been an excellent hammock and one that I've really enjoyed. So just show you how I set it up, what my system is. This is not the cheapest hammock system that you can get. It's top quality materials, and I opted for something that's just really easy to set up, something I can rely on. And I have bivvy systems and tents, but I do prefer to get up off the ground, you know, and up off the snow or up off the leaf litter, or where all the bugs are and where the water is. Hammock just makes a lot of sense for that. So, plus it's comfortable. I can, you know, not a lot of pressure on your back. Generally, you can get a better night's sleep. So, I keep my tarp line. I set up the tarp first. My tarp system, and this is my tarp line. I just wrap it around my stakes. I have some Prusik knots that are already on the line here to make it easier to set up. I had some Dutch wear fasteners, that devices that were tensioners that were metal. I got a few years back. They have different ones now, but I wasn't real crazy about them. They just they seem like they're hard to move up and down the line. Maybe it was just me, but the Prusik's just so much easier, and kind of want simple when I'm cold and wet, or I'm out camping, whatever. I just want things simple. So this works pretty good, just wrapping them around the stakes like that. Trying to get the camera angle right here so that you get a good view of what I'm doing. But I usually try to get my, if I can, my tarp line up first, because, you know, so often you're out in the wet weather or whatever, and you want to get out of it, or you want to keep your hammock dry and your underquilt and top quilt while you're setting it up. So it's a good idea to have at least the line up in case it does start to snow or rain on you. So these two trees are kind of close together. What I like about this system is I can adjust the Prusiks and stuff along my tarp line, and my hammock's pretty versatile that way too. It has some long straps on it, so no matter what you have kind of for tree lengths, you have ability to set something up that's kind of user friendly, you know what I mean? You can adjust it however you need it to make it work for you. So there's a couple Prusiks right there. One's actually, I have a couple on there for my tarp, but we're gonna go right around this tree, just like we did on the other side. Get it up there kind of high, because you want to get it up above your hammock system. But I've got all this extra line here. It's really a nice long tarp line. Make this come out a ways. So the good thing about that Prusik is I can put my line anywhere there, and it's going to work. And go ahead and tighten that down. Basically just throw a 1/2 inch loop in here. I have some other tarp ridgeline videos in my video files that I've done, which you can check my channel if you're interested in that. This is my kind of, I guess you'd call it, professional system. I also did videos on just how to use 550 cord for this. It's pretty simple just to use some 550 cord. Alright, so first things first, let's put the, since it's not raining or snowing, let's put the hammock out. And I'm going to put my head, it's a little bit higher on this side, the tarp ridge line, up here. Keep those stakes handy in case I need them. We're going to use the head up here. I mark each side of this bag. It has two openings on each side of the bag here for the hammock, which makes it really easy. You can just kind of pull from each side and stuff from each side. I marked this one as being the head, so if I marked it correctly, it should be where the head comes out. And I've got a carabiner. I want the hammock to come down through the ridge line like this. So that's generally how I set that up. These carabiners make it nice and easy to clip onto. So I'm just going to open up, if you can see this, open up the other side of the hammock bag. Just slowing this process down so you can hopefully see it on the video. I don't know if my camera angle is good. It's just kind of perched on my head here. So out we come on this side. This is going to be the foot where my feet go. Again, I go up through the tarp ridge line, come back in and just take the carabiner and clip right onto that. And let's see the sleeve. In a windy condition, you can kind of keep everything together with this little sleeve. They make what they call snake skins, which are essentially something like that, only longer, that just keeps everything wrapped up and cinched up in the wind so you can get it deployed without it blowing all over the frickin' place. But yeah, you can just use this bag kind of has that purpose too. But so what I'm going to do, well, I got the room right now. You can see here, these stake out on the sides. It keeps the bug netting in the hammock away from your face while you're in it, and also gives you a nice shelf to put things in. When you're inside the hammock, you can put hats and mittens and stuff up in there, which I'll demonstrate. But yeah, so I don't have any good trees to stake off on, so I think what I will do is trench out a little area and bury a stake or a stick. We'll try a stake first. Just make a nice big hole there. Go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and just put this loop around here like this. Just like that. Put that down in there. I kind of wedged it in the hole there. And then I'm gonna just cover it up. That'll hold. Especially if you were to leave that overnight, it would freeze. Stuff would freeze down in there. Do the same thing over here on this side just to get the bug netting out of my face. Hopefully you can see this on the camera. If not, I have to do it all over again. I hate repeating things. Alright. So now we got our goods on out. I'm just going to leave the tarp off until the last step, I think, since it's not precipitating out here right now. I'm going to put my underquilt on next. This is a underquilt I got from Hammock Gear. They made this, and they made it specially for me. It's got extra down in it. I think it's minus 15 degrees. It's a really good underquilt. You definitely need some sort of underquilt if you're going to have a hammock system or a pad, because what happens is the air convects underneath here. You lose all your body heat out through your back and from your backside, and it just, the wind and air just kind of sucks the heat right away from you. So you want to use either a hammock pad or a hammock quilt. And the hammock quilts are just really more comfortable because you don't have that pad bunching up underneath you. In my opinion, I prefer the quilt. Plus it's lightweight, and this down is super warm. So what we're going to do is just spread this out. This quilt underneath, there's a couple S-beaners that connect it right to your hammock line. I can tell already that it's got to come up more in the foot area. You want your head to be up higher than your feet, but you also want coverage on your feet. So what you're going to do is cinch this up a little bit on each side. all kinds of adjustment here to make the gap down here smaller and to adjust it along the line. Figure out what I'm doing here. Alright. Just gonna bring it up kind of snug. Leave a little bit of a gap because you're going to sink down into it. You want it to kind of surround you. You do have these little tabs here too, which I need to make some 550 cord or shot cord or something that goes up over you can tie it up over the ridgeline to the other side here, just to keep it wrapped around you, because you don't want it, falling underneath you on one end. So again, I'm going to cinch this up high because this is the head. There's not much of a gap there, but when you go down, you want to leave enough space between the hammock and the underquilt so that when you sink down into it, when you get in it, when you do get into it, you want that underquilt to be underneath you. You don't want it tight under you because that's going to compact the insulation in the loft. You want it to still be lofted, but you definitely want that to be up underneath you. Keep you warm. And next thing we'll do is we'll put the tarp up real quick. I believe I got this tarp also from Warbonnet. Came as an accessory to the Blackbird. I saw some people using it with a Blackbird. This looked like a good tarp, and I really like this tarp. It's lightweight, heavy-duty construction. This stuff is ripstop. It's not going to rip on you. Waterproof. You do have to seam seal it. I believe it's maybe extra money to have somebody else seam seal it for you, but it's not that hard to do. I'll throw this up over the tarp line, just like that. It's a black seam right here. You can see it goes along the ridge. That's why I have these prussics already hooked up on the line here. So you kind of adjust it over the hammock where you want it. You just clip it in. I'm going to say that's pretty good for the foot. And over here on the head, same thing. This little grommet on the hammock, on the tarp, it's already there. Let's probably go back towards the foot a little bit more, maybe. Leave a little slack in here and we'll pull it back a little bit. Cover the foot. There we go. Now, same thing with these corners here of your tarp. Probably just utilize some stakes and do like I did with that elastic line. Stake this out, dig a trench. Now this is the tie downs for the tarp here. I got some, it's a orange line that's high vis, obviously, and it has woven into it some reflective material. So if you leave your hammock in the middle of the night to go, to the bathroom and use the bathroom, and you want to be able to find your hammock easily, not trip over the lines, this is a good thing to have. Your flashlight, headlamp, or whatever will illuminate it in the dark, and you won't trip over it. Be able to find it. Anyway, that's the idea. So I have prussics hooked into this as well, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in here. I'm going to go around it with my line and bury it. There. Bury it. Just press it back up here. And we will cinch this down just like that. Hopefully this is on the camera. I can't see what I'm filming, unfortunately. Right, stakes will hang out. Same thing on this side over here. What I like to do is I just roll the around 2 fingers the line here. Just stuff it back in the grommet there. It works perfectly for holding the line. Makes everything nice and compact. So get it hung up over here. Too tight, maybe. Loosen that up on the other side. There's vegetation right there. Nope. If I was going to spend the night out here, I might not do that with the my stake, simply because the snow is very wet. My chances of getting that stake out of there easily, come tomorrow when everything's frozen, be maybe not so good. So you can break a stick and have do the same thing, just demonstrating how to tie it down if you don't have anything to tie it down to. Just use a stick instead of a stake here. Okay. Hopefully the battery will last on this camera. I'm filming everything with an Akaso Brave, I think 4 it is. It's kind of a GoPro knockoff type thing. It is okay for the money I paid for it. Not a lot of money, but there are obviously some shortcomings. The batteries are really not that great, but it does work. So I'm able to make videos, just not that well. Time intensive. Gonna have to get a new camera. Just can't afford one right now. I meant to make some videos this summer. I didn't get around to it. I had just kind of a busy schedule. A new member of the family, grandson, and we've just been busy as a family. I hadn't been able to get out here and make the videos that I wanted to make, but that's okay. I like to get out in the winter anyway. It's more comfortable in some respects. So that's a little tight, I would say, on that other side. We'll just pull it tighter on this side. Oops. So that's kind of what we're looking to do. I've got I have a 20-degree sleeping bag. I got some time ago because I was 3-season camping. Really wasn't doing much in the winter. And when I got the underquilt, I made sure I got a nice warm one, you know, minus 15 or whatever. But what I don't have is a good top quilt, and I will save some money by getting a top quilt over a sleeping bag. They're just cheaper. So you don't have to put the pillow really on one side, and there's no hood, and so on and so forth. And I could use that top quilt in conjunction with this 20-degree bag, I think, to get a winter system that would be adequate. So try and save some money there. But actually, this sleeping bag's been pretty good. You can use it. It's pretty versatile. You can, even in the summertime, if it's a cool night or whatever, you can vent it out and it works okay. That bag in there. This tarp could actually be a little bit higher, and I definitely don't want it touching the hammock. Alright. I feel like I should be able to. My buckle was crossed there somehow. That's why you don't want to necessarily, that's a good teaching point actually. You don't want to put your hammock up too high off the ground. Just for safety's sake, like you never know if it's gonna let go. You're gonna go for a ride. So I'm just sitting there. It's nice to have like a little pad with you to put your stuff on underneath the tarp and the hammock, like your boots. So when you get out, you can just step right into them. Also, you put your pack underneath the tarp and stay dry. So, zip shut here, like that. And now, I use this sleeping bag as a top coat. So, since I don't have one yet, but I have a Sasquatch out there stalking me. You can hear it coming. Bigfoot. It's about 16 degrees out here today, a little bit cooler than yesterday. It was in the 30s yesterday, and it's a little bit cooler out here today. One thing I did mention last night, that I put the stakes in the snow, trenched them out and covered them up with snow, and I mentioned the fact that they would be probably completely frozen if left in there, and it'd be hard to get them out. I did leave them in last night, and so I'm going to leave it set up for this morning, and it did take a considerable amount of force to get the stakes out of the ground, so you'd need a stick or a trowel or something to get the stakes out of the ground. They're completely frozen in there, which is one more reason it's better to use a stick or something like that you can put close to the surface and you get your line back. But just a note,